Your town nice. Stay in the know. Hardin County. Phone on silent, but the county talk loud. Hardin Local got the whole town down. From Radcliff Road to the E-Town Square. If it's going down, you'll hear it right here. Nate got the scoop when the business grow. Nate's business buzz, let the whole town know. New shop popping, yeah, the word gon' flow. Local grind strong, let the spotlight glow. Then J.O.B. with the weekend plans. Events in the county for the whole fam. Concerts, festivals, places to go. Circle that calendar so you don't miss the show. Stay in the know. Hardin County. Hardin Local. Let it ride. Head bopping local tonight. Hardin County on a vibe, from the news to the food to the city lights. Stay in the know. Hardin County. Rachel got the numbers when the market move. Housing update, let the data prove who's buying what and where things go. Smart move start when you stay in the know. Then the food talk hit when the mic get lit. Experience eater telling where to sit. New spot fire, yeah, we gotta go. Local plates hot, let the flavor show. Small town roots, but the vision big. Every local story with the gig. From the sports park lights to the downtown glow. Hardin Local on the
Music off. Welcome, everybody. We are back. Welcome back to Hardin Local. I'm Phil Tall, and this is the third of 4 candidate interviews today leading up to the May 19th primary. I'm joined now by, and help me with it again. Aundra. I'll get it, I promise. I'm bad with names, though. Aundra Lett-Jackson is running in the nonpartisan primary for Radcliff City Council, a 14 candidate field running for 6 seats. It's a lot. Before we bring Aundra in, one more thank you to our 2 sponsors today, the Plumbing Doctor and Omni Design Group, both Hardin County businesses helping us bring these interviews to you. More on both in a minute. Aundra, thanks for being here. Every candidate in this race gets the same questions, same order, same time limits. So let's get to it. What office are you running for, and why this office specifically?
I'm running for Radcliff City Council, and it's because I'm a resident of Radcliff, and I desire to be a voice for the people. And so this is a perfect opportunity to represent the citizens of Radcliff.
Okay, briefly, what happened in your life that led you to run for office?
After my husband's retirement from the military and we decided to make Radcliff our home, I wanted to become an intimate part of being a representative within our city.
Okay. I cut out there for a second, but I don't think you did. So we'll move on to the next question. What in your background most prepares you for this seat?
I would say because being a people person, one, grandparents being educators and beginning to learn how city government runs. And don't say I know it all, but yet I'm still willing to learn and to be able to better our community for a place, especially for us that are proud military spouses, and so that we will be able to be a stronger city within Radcliff.
If voters only remember one thing about why they should vote for you, what is it?
The one thing I would want them to remember, that I will always be a voice for the people. It's not about the 6 that is sitting there and voting. We have over 22,000 residents in the city of Radcliff, and we have to represent them all. It's not about us. It's not a campaign that we begin to say it's my way or no way. You have to think about the citizen of the city of Radcliff in Hardin County.
All right. Let's take a quick break. Today's election coverage is brought to you in part by the Plumbing Doctor, a family-owned Hardin County plumbing company run by Glenn and Tracy Downs right here in Elizabethtown. Over 20 years serving E-Town, Radcliff, Fort Knox, and Hodgenville. Fully licensed and insured, 24/7 emergency service, and a 10% labor discount for military, first responders, and seniors. Look, showing up to vote on May 19th is one way to take care of your community. But also, calling your neighbors when your water heater goes out is another. When your pipes go, call local, call 765-PLUM, PLUM. That's 765-PLUM. The Plumbing Doctor, experienced, reliable, and affordable. All right, let's get back to it. First 90 days, if you win, what's the first concrete thing you'd do in office?
In the first 90 days, I'm only one person, so it would have to be collaborative, that all would be in agreement. But one thing I would like to see is that we have a little bit more concern for the military, especially our aging ones in our community. We have a lot of our disabled veterans that are 80 and in 90s. So therefore, to look at some things to be able to engage and be able to go cut their yards, trim their trees, or do something in that manner. And we've got a lot of young people that is a part of our organization, which is the Disabled Veterans of Radcliff, 156. We can use some of those youth to be able to go out and do some of those things, especially in the summer.
Yeah. Got to take care of the veterans, right?
That's right.
That's right. Is your campaign self-funded, donor-funded, or is it a mix?
It's self-funded.
Okay. And where should voters go to learn more about your campaign?
They would have to come to me. I mean, they can go to, one thing they could go and look at, Where's This Woman? I'm represented there a few months ago. You could go to the Disabled Veterans, 156. You could go to the State Department, where I have just left as the past state commander. You could go to the national level for the disabled veteran. I'm very much involved with our veterans and our seniors. Those are the two hearts I tell people that I deal with on a daily basis.
Okay.
Or they can call me at 270-317-3827. I can personally answer any questions that they would like to know.
Okay. Well, make sure to share that number, and also to share the Wednesday Woman article on the comments of this after it's over on the post, so that people can find that. And if you don't mind, I love the passion, but when you get passionate, shaking the computer a little bit, so it's, kind of jingling the screens. Maybe try to.
I probably should have put it on the desk. Maybe I need to do that.
Yeah, if you want to take a second and do that real quick.
Yeah, let me switch that, because it's on my lap.
I'd rather you be passionate and shake the screen than the other way around.
Probably should have been at a table. I'm not at home. I'm out of town, actually. I'm not even in my comfort zone.
Oh, that's okay. While you're doing that, I'll go ahead. I got another quick break to pay the bills real quick. Before we get into the Radcliff Council specific questions, a big thank you to our second sponsor today, Omni Design Group. Omni is a second generation builder based right here in Elizabethtown. My good friend Josh Branningham and Corey Jewell, born and raised in Hardin County with deep family and business roots in the county. They handle new construction and remodeling across residential and light commercial. Any size home, any size reno. No project is too big, no renovation is too small, and no idea is too out of the ordinary. They are the team that built the first storage container commercial structure in Hardin County over at Heartland Mini Golf. If you've got a build, a remodel, or an outside the box project rattling around in your head, call or text Corey Jewell at Omni Design Group, 270-769-8339. That's 270-769-8339. Corey at Omni Design Group, locally owned, locally built, custom thinking. All right, let's get into these race-specific questions. And like I said, you have 2 minutes on each one, but if you want to spend less time on one, you can spend more time on another one. Okay. And so we're going to start with the council's role versus mayor's role. And Radcliff, the mayor proposes the budget, and runs the day-to-day. The council approves ordinances, confirms appointments, and votes the budget up or down. In plain language, how do you see the council's job? What should a council member be doing every week that a resident doesn't necessarily see?
I think they should. I think they should be out in the community, talking to some of the residents, not just during election times, because during election time, you're really in a hurry and you're rushing. So I think we need to be a little bit more involved with these over 22,000 residents. Choose an area. You don't have to choose an area on once a week. Do it monthly basis. I mean, during the time that we're not in snow season, but really get out there and get involved with the citizen themselves and see what their concerns are, because they really have concerns. And that's where we need to be able to take back and be able to have those residents' names, addresses, and then invite them also to city council meeting and to express their concerns.
Okay. Well, you spent about a minute on that one, so you have an extra minute on one of the other questions. The next question will be the city budget. Where'd you push? So the Radcliff City budget, I think, is currently around 18 million, with the biggest line item being the police. It's around 6 million. Fire at around 3 million. Public Works at around 1.6 million, and Parks and Rec around 1.5 million. When you're sitting on council and that budget comes across your desk, what are you looking at first? Where would you push for more investment? Where would you hold the line? And what would voters in your neighborhood notice if you got your way?
Okay, one I would say with the police department is interesting. That's one of the questions I just talked with the chief of police a couple of weeks ago. Right now, as you talk about the budget for the police department, they are 6% under their budget for 2025 in the fiscal year. We are short. I asked the question, I asked the chief about 2-3 weeks ago. I asked him, where were we with our police? We're understaffed right now. We got someone in police academy that is their training now, but being 6% under, they need the funding there so they can be able to have. We don't have enough policemen there. I want Radcliff to stay safe. I want to feel safe in the city of Radcliff. So therefore, I believe that the police will be my first choice to saying they need all the monies that they're put in for, so that we will be able to hire. Because once it seemed like we've been hiring, and lately I began to see in the last couple of years, I began to see that when they get through their training, their mandated time to be there on the police, they go to the sheriff's department because they get more funding there. Our policemen really are underfunded. When I sit in Radcliff, and 2020, we had Councilwoman Tanya Seabrook to pass away. And I was the 7th one that was on that list, and they voted me in. So I sit there 2 years. So I got to see some things that really surprised me, that this is all the money that they're making. That is really under I believe the salary that our Radcliff police should be making. I think it needs to be an increase.
Okay. So that one you spent about 2 minutes on, but you still have an extra minute. And if you do like one of the last questions for a minute, I can limit it to you. You could spend 4 minutes on this question, because I know you want to spend more time on this one. So let's get to it. This one's about Fort Knox and Radcliff identity. Radcliff, about 22,000 people living right next to Fort Knox, and military families rotate in and out every few years. That's both an economic engine and a unique community dynamic. As a council member, how do you think about serving both long-term residents and military families who might only be here 3 years? And are there specific things the council can do to make Radcliff feel like home faster for new families in the military?
Well, that is my favorite question there. I came to Radcliff September 1977. I've spent more time in Radcliff than I've spent in my home state, which is Alabama. I came to Radcliff because I married my husband in June of 77, because he was stationed at Fort Knox. Surprisingly, most people ask me the question, how did your husband been over 20 years in the military and only had one stateside duty, and that was Fort Knox. So therefore, we're long term. My husband came there in 76, and like I said, we got married in 77. We left from 80 to 83 to Germany, but 83 we came back to Fort Knox. 86 he left, went to Korea, came back in 87. And at that time, we decided in 88, March 10th, that we would purchase a home. So we are homeowners. Purchased our home for a 30-year mortgage, but paid it off in 20 years. So therefore, we are long-term. And I have so many that I can tell you that have come from Alabama, come from Mississippi, come from Tennessee, that are long-term. So when it comes to the military, everyone is not short-term. Maybe when they get stationed somewhere else. But I asked the question to someone over a year ago, if the military ones that are retired like we are, everyone would pick up and have to go back to their home like Abraham them had to do in the Bible, Radcliff would be no more. Because I can guarantee you 75% of Radcliff are military retired, because I know we are part of the disabled veterans and the disabled veteran auxiliary. And in that, they're all military related. So therefore, I believe that we're already doing a lot of work with Fort Knox, because that's where we shop at. That's where we do a little eating there, because we are military retirees that are in Fort Knox and Radcliff residents.
Okay. Well, you didn't go over on that one, so you still have your full time on all your other questions. Okay. And we'll move on to the ordinance and quality of life. Recently, Radcliff ordinance work has included things like that 3% short-term rental tax hike, code enforcement, and updates to city services. What's a specific ordinance or policy area you'd push the council to take up in the next 4 years? Something you hear about from neighbors that you think, or yourself, that you think the council should actually do something about?
I think they should look at, I'm from Alabama again. I think they should look at, now we're seniors, and they only give us a 10%, I believe, discount on property evaluation that we pay. I think we should be exempt. I think that's something that Hardin County Physical Court, Alabama, when you become 65, you're done with taxes. I don't know why we're still taxed here. So that would be something that I would want to discuss, not only with City Council, but also with the Physical Court and with the PVA. Why is it that when we get 65 and we have lived here so long that we have to continue to pay property tax? That's important to me. Like I said, I'm from Alabama. So Alabama doesn't charge us. If you are a homeowner and that is your primary residence, you are done with taxes.
It's an interesting take. I've always thought, like, yeah, property taxes in all forms, make it to where home ownership is a little bit, not quite home ownership. Because if you don't pay those taxes, you don't own that home.
Yeah, man, I'm free and clear.
Yeah, right. All right. So our next question is going to be more about and it's the last question, which will be about building relationships. And just so you know, it wasn't on the agenda, but at the end, I'll give you a minute or two to do a closing statement. Okay. But we'll finish with this question. The council doesn't operate alone. The city works with, with Fort Knox, with Hardin County Physical Court, Hardin County Schools, Sheriff's Office, and neighboring cities like Vine Grove and E-Town. Where do you
I can't hear you. You went out.
I'm trying to make it back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Sorry about that.
I was texting you to let you know that you went off and I couldn't hear you.
My computer crashed.
I got my phone in my hand. I had to find my phone. I'm like, where's my phone? So that I could text you.
I'm almost back in there. I've never had my computer just shut off midstream. Thankfully, it didn't kick you out.
You know these technology, they do whatever.
I know. But I'm going to get back on my computer because, oh, there we go.